Just got back for a wicked appointment. Young lad, he's got cerebral palsy and we're working with him to develop his joystick skills. So he's going to be able to use a joystick with his left hand to be able to drive his powered wheelchair eventually. He's at the very early stages. We've got to overcome lots of difficulties, working closely with the occupational therapist, like a hand splinting, for example, overall trunk control, head control, better posture. We're looking at equipment such as a tray just to help him place his hands. There's a whole multidisciplinary team going in. My goal is to help him access IT, so for his learning, and also to help him with his assisted wheelchair controls. We're looking at joystick because we can use some adapted joysticks on the computer to help him develop that. Well, firstly, the visual skills, okay, the physical dexterity of moving, the understanding that when he's moving his joystick, something is being affected on the screen and that the two are working, they're correlated, so that, you know, I'm moving the mouse pointer with the joystick and it's moving on the screen and this is what's happening. We'll introduce clicks so he can make purposeful choices on the computer. This is going to be a long, long road for this young lad, but we've started, we've got a great team. But let me show you how we can use really simple activities on the computer with an adapted joystick to help someone develop controls. I'll see you over there with a coffee. So the young lad we're working with, he's 5 years old, so he's at the very, very early stages of his learning. He does have significant physical and significant cognitive difficulties, additional needs. So we're going to start off very, very simply. What he has got, and the reason we're going down the route of a joystick, is he has got some developing hand control and he can control this upper limb. He's got right-sided weakness. He's got a very difficult tone actually to overcome, as it were. But with the right input and the right development and the right learning and the right amount of practice, we think that a joystick is the best way forward for this young man. Not the only way forward, because we like to take an approach where we use lots and lots of different tools, because of course we don't just use one method for accessing the computer, do we? We use touch, we use mouse, we use joysticks, you know, eye gaze, you know, depending on what he's learning, we can develop access controls for lots of different things. Anyway, so in this case, I have got an iPad here. Now, he's got an iPad already, so we need to work with what we've got. Obviously, cost can be an issue. Okay, I've got the blue line Bluetooth joystick, okay? Change the top to this large foam ball, okay? Because another thing we want to promote is opening out this hand, okay? We don't want this, okay? We want to be opening this out, so the splints will help, and also we want a reason to get this hand open, okay? He's really motivated by watching on the iPad. He can't access it himself. He can do some touch work, but it's not. He's not able to isolate, and he's not able to make purposeful choices on there. So this is why we're using the joystick. So first of all, let's just say I'm in one of our phonics activities here, and I can get my hand over the joystick, okay, and then all he has to do is move. Now, you'll see that I've incorporated a dwell time, okay? It's just a very quick dwell time, but it's to help him learn and understand the concept of making a deliberate choice. We'll progress this onto a click, but for now, as if we were using eye gaze, we'll just use a dwell. So he just has to keep the mouse pointer over the ship. We'll increase the dwell time, and then we will eventually incorporate a switch as well, but that's an extra thing for him to be thinking about. Just for early sensory work, we could of course start just by, and you know what, chuck this on the interactive whiteboard in the classroom and you just get this massive effect. Turn the volume up. I'll turn the volume up a bit here so you can hear. Okay, and it's just understanding that cause and effect by moving this, something's happening on the screen, and progress the activities through, and depending on the cognitive load on the activity, reduce the input complexion. If it's a really simple activity, maybe that's a good place to start beginning to add a switch for a click. I need to tighten my stand up, clearly. We're also looking at visual interaction and visual processing. So we might incorporate something that needs a little more targeting, a little bit more skill. So here we've got to chase the circles around to get the emotion in the face. You know, can he target up to 20 faces. Okay, and everything's working on mouse over, so we don't need to use a click for anything. This is slightly tricky for him at the moment. But this is what we're heading towards, is playing more mainstream games. Okay, so for this, of course, we will need to speed up the mouse pointer. On the blue line joystick, I can do this by pressing the middle button the way I've got it set up. Okay, so that I can actually save some of the goals. Yeah, we've got loads on there on our website. Sorry, I should say I'm on our website here. We've got all the phonics activities. We've got, for this lad in particular, exploring the garden and the city in our walkthrough series. Go here, look, I can add some settings as well to this, so I can increase the selection area size, so he doesn't have to be as accurate with the joystick. So let's do that. And we can have the dwell set as instant, but you know, we do want to progress his his deliberate choice making skills. So let's set that to a second, and we'll hit start. You can see I've got a larger selection area, and also he knows where he needs to be aiming for.
Train station. Trains take people in and out of the city. Trains run on train tracks and can go very fast.
This will also work with a switch, by the way. So what we could do for him is plug a switch in, or use one of the buttons on the joystick here.
Hotel.
So you can use it sort of more cause and effect.
Sleep and eat at a hotel when we visit a place we don't live. Hotels have restaurants and bedrooms with bath.
So there we go. We've got the blue line joystick. We've got our website, the Aptitude Project website. But I mean, you know, there's plenty of other software out there. You've got all the Look to Learn, Look to Read by Sensory Software, Smartbox. You've got the Sensory Guru software. There's lots of companies, Inclusive Technology, do a whole load of software out there that is great for developing joystick skills. So yeah, I'm really excited for this young lad's future, and we've got a great team and a good plan going forward for him.